So this is the PSA for all the single ladies. If you are not single, keep scrolling. But if you are single, living in America, and you are wondering why you are not married or you don't have a man yet, I have the answer. You are still single because your man is African. Not only is he African, but he lives in Ghana. He lives in Ghana, sis.
Hey everyone, hey fam, how you doing, my sweet dear family, all my beautiful, beautiful brothers and sisters. I'm back with you again with another video. This is a very, very important and special video to me, to me, because there's a very important topic that we need to discuss, and I brought my beautiful daughter, Niger, Nice with me for this particular video because she can bring a lot to this conversation, and some of you have been asking about her. So I said, well, why don't we kill two birds with one stone? I can have her in this video. You can see she's doing well, she's fine. And also, again, like I said, she has a lot to bring to this particular subject. So first of all, let me get the housekeeping out of the way. I'd like to thank all of you for all of my new subscribers. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. Welcome to the family, and I appreciate your support. And also, definitely subscribe if you are not a subscriber. Share this video. This one is very important. Not that my other ones aren't important, but this one is very important for any females that are planning to relocate here to Ghana. And this could be very indicative of other countries here on the continent. But we naturally are going to address Ghana. So definitely share this video. Give it a big thumbs up as well. Give it a big like. Doesn't cost you anything, and it will help me out a great deal. It'll help out the channel, so just press that like button and I would really, really appreciate it. So, and all you OGs that have been with me for a while, I just want to say hey to all of you. Thank you so much for your comments, and you know I love the comments, so do not forget to leave a comment. And this one, I really do want some comments from this one, because we're going to be getting into a subject matter that some channels do cover, but the Most High gave it to me to cover from a different standpoint, because there are so many people that I talk to now through this channel, through DMs, through emails, that are talking to me about coming to Ghana or moving to the continent. So this is for the Most High's people, the Most High's daughters that are coming here. So it's something that's very, very important, and you might want to really pay very close attention to this. Not if you're married, but if you're single, you want to really pay attention to this. So thank you very much. But before we get started, I want the sister that opened it up for us to complete her thoughts about men in Ghana. So check this out.
Now, I know it might sound crazy, but hear me out. I have never been to a country where the men were so genuine, so intentional, and so loving. And before the girls get on here talking about, sis, he just want a green card. No, they don't. No, they don't. Okay? Those men love Ghana. They love their country. And if anything, they want you to come to Ghana. Listen, America is not that girl. Nobody is checking for America. Not like they used to be, okay? So people I love that Ghana has this new campaign where they're inviting Black Americans to come from what they say, come home, come back home, come and live in Ghana. So when you get there, you get this like abundance of just love. And you feel that way because you feel like you're in a place where you're actually wanted. But back to the man. The man there, y'all, I've never experienced just an amount of just love and attention. And they don't want anything but to love and take care of you. I've seen so many TikToks of girls going to Ghana and coming back in relationships or engaged. And I was like, oh, okay, yeah, whatever, typical. It wasn't until I went that I saw just how genuine people are there. And not saying everyone's genuine. Some people have their motives, and it's up to you to use your own judgment and pick and choose which man or what intentions are good and what aren't. But I'm telling you, if you're single and you're looking for your man, he's in Ghana.
Okay. So you heard the sister finish her thoughts about your husband, if you're single, your husband being here in Ghana. And I found that very interesting because I feel differently. Okay, and we'll get into that. In certain cases, maybe she's correct, but I don't know. We'll get into it. And this is why Niger is with me, because she's a young woman. Yes. She's a single woman here. Yeah. And I'm single too, but I'm an older woman. But this goes for my older sisters too, because I'm going to definitely get into that because it is an issue. But we're going to talk about social media influence. Yeah. And the signal that is sent out there, and it's not always the correct one. So what do you think about that?
Well, I definitely agree with you. I feel that this video is good because you're coming from an older woman's standpoint. I'm coming from a younger woman's standpoint here. So I think it's a good kind of balance, I guess you would say. But to start off with her video, I thought that her video was rather presumptuous. I'm going to be really honest with you because everybody's situation varies. Right. Somebody's husband or mate or spouse could be in Istanbul, could be in Asia, could be in Europe, or even the States where she's talking from. Love can find you anywhere. Whoever the Most High ordains for you to be with, it could be anywhere. Right. It can be even on the continent. Right. But I just think it was rather presumptuous for her to say that, and that's giving the wrong signals to us sisters. You know what I'm saying? Because I mean, let's face it, guys, social media influences a lot. And there's been a lot of hype around Ghana already, from the year of return and then so on. They call it, was it Daddy December? They call it Daddy December, where, See,
she knows about that. I'm at home in December, so she's out there.
I mean? It's like, I don't, turn up as much as I, could, but I have been out during December, and it's a hot time here. A lot of women and people in general from abroad come here, have fun and party, which I think is cool. But at the same time, with her saying that throughout the whole video, oh, your husband's in Ghana and, don't look any further. Well, sis, how do you really know that for sure? Right. And because, I mean, let's face it, a nice bit of women, Black women, we know the state, in the States and probably other places abroad too, you want to get married, you want to have a family, any red-blooded woman, but some women may think differently about that, but want to have a family, want to, find that African, king, you know what I'm saying? Right. We have that image of that African prince, right? And so kind of like, I think that what's going on kind of over the past, we've been here for going on 6 years, but, it's been kind of an influx. Right. Yes, it has. Yeah, it's been kind of like an influx of, like hookups and, and going there and finding a man. I've had friends myself that have, that have found a man, that have gotten married and, and so on and so forth. And I'm not saying that your man is not here in Ghana, but you don't come here and specifically to hop on a plane to find a man.
To find a man here in Ghana, you know, and let me get this out from the very beginning. We're not generalizing.
No.
Okay, we are not generalizing, because there's this exception to every rule. But I think we're coming from the standpoint of being here almost 6 years and the experiences that we've gone through, the things that we've seen. So, you know, we've seen, I think I've seen one marriage personally that I know of between a Ghanaian man and an American woman, and it worked out well. You know, since we've been here, there are other American women here that are married to Ghanaian men, but we've heard a lot of things. But in terms of meeting that man here and you coming here, and even what the sister said in the video, you know, they're not after this, they're not after that. And like I said, I'm not generalizing, but I am saying that we have seen more situations where there is gain for that male than there really is for the female. It's actually gain for that male and that male's family. So with her saying they're not trying to get to America, don't be so sure about that.
Practically every time when I go out, there's somebody that's saying, please take me with you.
Right.
And I'm like saying, well, I'm not going back. Okay?
Right.
But, you know, they're still in that America craze, and even abroad, period.
Right.
You know, some man mistaken me for being from Canada. And he was like, take me to Canada. And I'm like, well, first of all, I'm not from Canada. And second of all, I'm not, you know, I'm done. You know, I'm rather be here. And they're kind of like, what? Well, you know, why? You know, so that is not entirely true. It really is. And her, you know, saying, oh, they love Ghana. I mean, you know, of course you have your percentage of people, of Ghanaians here that love their country, you know, their mother country, but there's a nice percentage that doesn't.
What really can show you that that is true is that Ghana is one of the countries here on this continent. I'm sure it's going on in Nigeria, South Africa, maybe even Kenya, but that are trying to live a Western lifestyle.
Yes.
That is very prominent here. And actually that's something that kind of bothers us a little bit, because it goes into you appreciating, really seriously appreciating your culture. And but everyone, there are a lot of people here, percentage of people that are bending over backwards to live that Western lifestyle. And so you being from the West, be it from, you know, Canada, America, Europe, you know, even the Caribbean, you know, in some places in the Caribbean, they're wanting that life. So you are that ticket to that life. So with her even saying that, you know, and they're just, you know, all the love that you feel. Yeah, you are going to get a lot of love.
Yeah, a lot of love.
In fact,
a lot of attention.
Right when you get off the plane.
That's like one of the first things.
That's the first thing.
You will get, I promise you, if you're looking for a marriage proposal, but it may not be genuine depending on the situation, but if you're just looking for one, you will get one.
You'll get several.
Yeah.
Okay, you'll get several.
Common.
I mean, like for instance, myself, I'm almost 65 years old. I have arthritis in my knee. Sometimes I walk with a walker. I can go out my door right now and I can find a Ghanaian man, a young one.
Very young.
Okay, without a problem whatsoever, because I'm a walking dollar sign.
I mean, our really good friend, he shared with us that, you know, he's heard some conversations by, you know, his peers, his friends, and they're encouraging him to actually go get a older diasporan woman, because they know about retirement, they know about pensions, you know, different benefits, you know, that a lot of people here that come here that do receive that have worked hard for, I may add, years of working, but they want a piece of that.
So you have to be very careful. And with that in mind, there's something else I want to show you. This is a video that actually went viral. Some of you may have seen it, some of you may have not. So I want to share this with you.
I don't care if you married to a Ghanaian. Don't trust that nigga either. You know, you be having it like you can't trust a man that you with in the States. You be like, this nigga be out there tricking. He be at the strip club. He be doing this and doing that, doing this and doing that. Now, I must say that Ghanaian men treat you good. They treat you like queens. But poverty's still a thing. And when poverty strikes, people turn like a thief in the night. And people will be different, honey. When it comes to money, oh my God, I know all about it. I'm like social services. When people need money, they come to me. When people need a house, they come to me. When people need a car, they come to me. When people having a hard time, they come to me. They put all that shit right here on me. But when I'm hurting, I don't go to nobody but my mind. Let me figure out how I'm gonna do this shit. So with that being said, like, you'll have a here, you can't trust his ass either. You'll be like, I love him, he treat me good, but there's something about that, like, can I really trust him? And I'm telling you, I cannot trust my husband as far as I could throw his ass, and I can't throw his ass. If I gave him 1 CD and 50 pesos and I said, hey, go get me an egg and come back, and he came back and said, Mommy, there was no eggs out there, I'd be like, hey, give my money back. Because I don't know what the finna do. I don't know. Like, I remember one time he told me, I had gave him some money, and he was like, my sister fell ill. She's in the hospital, and all the family is going to put money down. So I end up giving her the money that you gave me so she could pay her hospital bills, and I need more. I said, well, you gonna be broke right with her ass then, because you ain't getting no more. Like, you gotta really do that. And it's sad. It's really sad. Everybody who around you are around you for a reason. Don't trust nobody, because everybody's around you for a reason. I could tell you so many stories. I've been here for almost 2 months, and I'm ready to go the back home. Okay? This will drain you. It will take everything out of you. First of all, when you come over here, you budget for you. You don't take in consideration everybody else. But baby, let me tell you, you will have everybody and their mother trying to dig in your pockets. It'll be people just around you saying, oh, let me cook for you. Let me clean up. Let me carry your bags. Hey, don't do that. Don't do this. And you just think, oh, they just nice. They want something. That's what it is. They want something. You'll go to eat because you're hungry. You're like, let me go ahead and get something to eat while I'm out. And you'll have like 2 or 3 people with you. They sit there and look like little pitiful ass. And then you gotta feed their asses too, honey. So then you're like, damn. So I was supposed to spend 20 CDs, but now I end up spending 80 CDs because I had to feed everybody. And they would gladly take that shit. What I was telling you no. The only time they'll tell you no, like if your driver, if you're trying to feed your driver and your driver thinking that you want to take the money away from him that you're supposed to give him because you fed him, then he won't eat so he can get all the money. You know, so you have stuff like that. But you'll have people who will come to you lie, like okay, for instance, this girl's called me crying and screaming in the phone. Oh my God, I just got robbed. I can't believe this. This is too bad. This is pitiful. This. I don't have no more money. Just to see if I can give them some money. Then you'll have somebody, you'll buy a phone. Oh, my phone spoiled. I have no way of contacting anybody. I'm suffering so bad. You'll buy the phone, and before you know it, he leaves and he comes back and say he don't got the phone no more. And you're like, what happened to the phone? He be like, oh, I lost it on the Trotro or something like that. And you be like, you know you sold that shit. Like, for what? Like, why do y'all do like that? Or then you'll have somebody call you and say, I know I was supposed to come and get you. I was supposed to do this, but I really need some money because my brother fell sick and he needs me to pay bills and he needs me to help out. Like, how you trying to help? You can't help yourself. Like, for real. We in the States, that when something happens to our brothers or sisters, if we ain't got it, and if they ain't got it and we ain't got it, then tough. You need to figure that shit out. That's your situation. But over here, it's like, oh, it's everybody in the family need to come together, pull together, and get the money to help the brother because he's sick. I don't want to hear no more of them Salisbury. I don't want to hear no more people dead and they need help with the funeral. I don't want to hear no more people got robbed and they don't have nothing left in their house and all that. Y'all know what the fuck was going on when y'all grew up here. And then I definitely don't need nobody telling me, oh, Ghana is choked, fuel prices gone up, I don't have no money, I'm doing bad, I haven't ate, it's messed up over here. I can see that. If Stevie wanted to see that shit. But what was you doing before I got here? The same thing you was doing before I got here is the same thing you need to do now. Don't put that burden on me. So you'll be having like, bullshit like that happen, and then you will trust people, what? And then they'll spend it or do something else with it, lie to you, or you'll give some money and tell him, hey, I need you to go get this thing for me. He'd be like, all right, it's gonna be 100. Let's say he'll say it's gonna be 2,000 CDs. You give him 2,000 CDs. He call you back, be like, oh, the man said he can't do it because he need more money, so it's gonna be 2,005. And you be like, well, you know what? Bring my money back. I don't even want it now. And, oh no, okay, I can work it out. I'll see what I could do. Oh, you should have saw what you could do before you called me with the. So obviously he was in the first place, like they take you for a fool, like you ain't been there, done that. Don't come for me, please, because I'm already hip. I'm like BoJack, baby. I'm hip to the game. You hear me? The game is to be sold and not to be told. I swear. I know I got ghetto attitude, manipulating environment. I got game. If ain't nobody else got it, I got it. And so don't come to me with the. Okay? Now let me stop because it's gonna be a serious video. So then you'll have he'll say, oh, I took this, like, let's say I want a driver's license and I go give somebody 1,700 CDs and he supposed to give me a driver's license. The driver's license supposed to be ready by tomorrow or next day. It'll take him 3 or 4 weeks. He'll say, oh, he's still taking his time. I know y'all still using typewriters, but how long does it take you to type this up? Like, for real. So then you like, okay, now it's been 3 weeks. It's going on 4 weeks and you still ain't finished with it. You spent my money. Like, y'all be on some crackhead. Now, I don't want to insult nobody. I don't want to ruffle no feathers. I don't want to burn no bridges. None of that shit. I'm just telling it like it T.I. is. Because this shit is sickening. And it's up. And the crazy part about it is you gonna pay them. But he'd rather steal from you than let you pay him. And then, on top of that, if you pay him, he's still gonna steal from you. So, don't trust nobody.
All righty. Okay. Now, for that sister, I feel really bad for her. Because, unfortunately, she was talking about returning to the States. But what her main problem was, and this is what I'm saying to all the ladies that are listening, even some of the gentlemen too, because there are things that happen with guys who's more common with women here.
And I guess we're female, so we can speak on the Ghanaian male perspective, but no, brothers as well.
Absolutely. And then too, there are more females that are out here.
Right.
So we see it more often. It's more prominent. So that's the end we can speak on a little bit more. Yeah. But it was a strong indication in that video that she met this man, because she said she was here for 2 months. And she got married within that 2-month time frame. That is a huge mistake. I don't care where you are, but definitely here. That's a big mistake. If you meet someone, I'm not saying that, you don't, shouldn't deal with any of these men here. We're not saying that. But if you meet someone, this is my old head, okay, that's saying this. definitely give it time. Please do not come out here, you meet a man or you meet him online, and we're going to talk about that too, but in another month you're married. That's not wise.
No,
that's not wise at all. To make sure that that man is really there for you and not for the perks that comes with being with you. Yeah. Because that's what happens. Another thing with that sister is she could have been in this situation. She could have been lonely.
Yeah.
And when you're lonely, it can cause you to do things that are not very smart. You can move hastily. And it's important to give these relationships, because you're talking about different culture, whole different vibe.
It's
okay,
totally
whole different vibe.
It's totally different. As I tell people, it's different in the than the West in terms of relationships, even marriage, customs. It's different, of course, because you're in a different culture. Yes, the people, all of us are brown-skinned people, but I mean,
that
but at the end of the
really
day, we come from two totally different realities, experiences, and almost worlds.
We do come from different worlds.
So I mean, so merging that can be a little bit challenging. Not saying that it can't happen, because you can find love anywhere, and I'm an advocate for love.
Right.
I really am. But what you were saying with this sister, it's coming again, as I said earlier in the video, coming off the plane just to meet a man. You know, biblically, a man finding a wife find a good thing, not a woman.
That's right.
So I mean, let him find you.
Yeah.
I feel almost that we're kind of, as women coming from abroad, especially the States, because we're from the States, almost, or I don't want to say this, but I have to be real, guys, almost kind of like a thirstiness. You know what I'm saying? And no female should be thirsty for any man. That's just the way I feel about the situation. If a man finds you, and he's a good man, it's working well, and everything, so you're giving that time, I'm all for that. But specifically trying to search him out, going possibly to another continent for that specific reason, that just breeds disaster. Like you said, what she indicated on her video, about 2 months in a 2-month time span, that's pretty serious. But like you said, loneliness, I have seen, I'm a female myself, who wants to be lonely?
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Who wants to be lonely? Want that person to hold you tight at night, to make your bed warm, to just be there as a companion.
Right, to be there.
Who doesn't want that? I think that's a lovely thing. And I have to say, here in Ghana, the men here are beautiful. They're gorgeous.
Very
They really
handsome.
are. Very handsome men. They say the right things, especially when you first come here. It's new to you. Once you've been here for a while, it's so happy.
It turns
but
into old stuff.
when you first get here, it can be flattering. I'm a woman myself. They talk about how beautiful you are. The attention you get is just like off the Richter scale, because you get a lot of this. It's like a smorgasbord. It's like a candy shop.
Yeah, it really is.
Or a clothing. You're going through your clothes and you find so many good looking things. Like I said, and they say the right things. They may, quote unquote, treat you right at first, but what are the motives? You gotta know the motives.
You have to know the motives, because you have to also think of the fact that there's a poverty spirit here.
Yeah.
And when you deal with the level of poverty that you find here, because we were talking about this before, there are poor people in America.
Yes, definitely.
There really are. And we know this, okay? There are poor people in America. There are poor, very, very, very poor areas in America. And they're poor, okay? There are poor areas there. But this level of poverty, because this is a poverty that is on a totally different level. So the desire to pull out of that poverty is there. So there are a lot of people really looking for that opportunity.
Right.
To be able to grab a hold of something. Like, for instance, the sister that we showed you the last video, she ended up paying for everybody. You know, she is, you know, I know she said her husband said they had to pull together as a family, but, you know, and we all have to kick in, but it looks like she was the one that was kicking in the most.
Yeah.
Because naturally she's from America and she automatically has.
She has a money tree just in her backyard.
Just a surplus of currency, you know, and you find yourself in that you can find yourself in that type of situation very easily. We've seen it time after time and time again.
It's happened where I've had to block people because they're asking me, right? They don't really hardly know me, but they're asking me right off the bat, can you buy me this? Can you buy me that? And I'm like, okay, I kind of see where this is going. So unfortunately, I'm going to have to block you, you know, because the thing is, you know, I'm being honest. I've noticed that some people here in Ghana, they'll take advantage, and if you give them an inch, they'll take a mile with it. So you have to be careful, you know, because you are coming from someplace else. You know, you have to decipher your relationships, whether even non-platonic. It could be just friendships.
Right.
What vibe am I getting? Are you asking me for a lot? What is this relationship really based in? And I mean, it's really, you know, for romantic relationships because you're working with your heart, and your heart, you know, means something. So, I mean, unless it's a transactional thing, because I'm going to be really honest with you. I was listening to a sister, shout out to, I hope I'm pronouncing the channel name correctly, the African Superstar. So if you're watching, shout out to you. I saw a video not too long ago where she was talking about transactional marriages. And, you know, this is a thought. So please, maybe in the comment section, definitely talk about it. That kind of our concept coming from the West, we are about love, you know, and love and romance and being wooed, and you know what I'm saying? And really also having a friendship as a partner or as a spouse, you know, we kind of base it on different things. But here, some countries here and even other countries across the world, other continents, kind of marriages tend to be transactional sometimes. And she was talking about how she didn't think it was a bad thing. You know, if that's something that you're looking for, you know, it's a win-win situation. You gain, I gain. You know, it could be, I'm just looking for a really handsome man, like, you know, the boy toy, you know, eye candy. And I guess vice versa for a man with a very attractive woman. And then, you know,
then after that, you become a sponsor.
Maybe if that floats your boat.
Yeah.
You know, because I mean, we get into relationships for different reasons. But, you know, so that is something to think about, you know, why you're getting into the relationship that you're getting into. But if you're getting into it for love, you know, be very, very careful, because who wants a broken heart? Right. You know?
Exactly. Yeah. Now, this is for my older ladies that are planning to come to Ghana. You've got to use common sense here. You really do. I can't even stress that enough, because you will be approached by younger men who will tell you age is nothing but a number.
Remember, you got that one?
I got that. Okay, I got that before we moved here. There was a gentleman that I was reaching out on Facebook. I think I may have mentioned this, but I'm going to mention it again. I was reaching out on Facebook before we moved here just to kind of make a connection with people. And there was a younger man, he was 30. He answered me, you know, he friended me, and we became friends, and we started talking, and everything was fine in the beginning because it was very, you know, there was no romance, no romantic undertones or overtones with anything. But then all of a sudden he went to the romantic side, and I was like, I'm actually old enough to be your mother. And he was like, well, that doesn't matter, you know, we don't look at age like that, and bloop-de-blah and la-dee-dee. Well, I had better sense than that, okay, because I was like, that's ridiculous.
And we didn't even come here yet. That was before
we even set foot in Ghana. And I ended up having to ease him down because then the conversation started really, he wanted to go in a romantic vein, and I did not. because all I wanted to do was ask questions about Ghana. I wanted to find out about Ghana.
Friendship.
Right.
Yeah.
And I wasn't interested in anything romantic, especially with a 30-year-old man, and I was, 59, 58, 59? No. Okay, that just didn't make any sense to me. So, but I know that sometimes you might be lonely, or whatever the situation is, these young men know how to approach you. And we have seen several marriages with older women and younger Ghanaian men, and they just don't work. They just don't work.
Unfortunately.
And you meet, members of their family that you think is their family. They might introduce you to their sister when their sister actually turns out to be their wife.
You have to be really careful of that. You really do, even depending on their religion or tribe. Because in some religions, like Muslim, you can have more than one wife.
Right, but this is though more not even going in that vein.
Right,
more than one wife. It is more of them running a game on you. So she's saying, I'm his sister, and this is my sister, when you're actually speaking to his wife.
Yeah, please be careful with that.
And they're trying to get money out of you. So you have to be careful. And again, a red flag is several things. If they don't introduce you to their family, or everybody is dead, all their parents are dead, everybody's dead, and all that's around is their sister. Because we found out that's not the case.
Yeah,
that's not the case.
There's always an elder somewhere.
There's always an elder.
Even if the parents have passed away, there is an elder, because they're very family oriented, and they're kind of communal, people. Kind of us coming from the West, from the States, you elope. There could be problems with the family. That's nothing uncommon where we come from. But here,
it's different.
It's different. So please, that is a red flag for you to, you kind of have to be almost Inspector Gadget.
You do.
Sherlock Holmes,
you do.
to look for red flags, and just to, be sure that everything is straight. I've even heard that some people here are running background checks. I don't know how they do that.
Yeah, I've heard that they're starting to do that too, because
just to make sure everything's good.
You want to make sure.
Yeah.
Okay, you want to make sure that game is not being run on you, and you find you get in a relationship, you get married or whatnot, and everything goes up in smoke. But he has you legally. Okay, he has you legally.
Because keep in mind, if you marry into the culture here, this is their turf. Just like if they were to come to the States, or the UK, or the West, wherever you're from, that would be your turf. Same thing here.
Right, and those protections, those are not here the way that they are in the States. A man can put their hands on you here. Forget about calling 911. Okay, because that's not available to you. And if you can get the police to come out, they 9 times out of 10 might side with that man because he's Ghanaian.
Or they're going to want
some money.
Chop, chop, as they say.
Right.
Big
So
chop.
you have to pay. So it's not the same, So we have to realize we're coming into a totally different environment. And I need to say this too before we move on. We're not trying to tell anyone what to do or anything like that. This is out of concern because we have more and more people that are coming out here.
Yeah.
And we're having a lot of women that are coming out here, and we have a lot of single women that are coming out here. And I care, Niger cares, we care because we're seeing situation after situation that is not working out very well. So, women are getting charmed, off their feet, and they end up kind of with the short end of the stick. So, I just have this advice. When you're coming here, just know that there are a lot of things you don't know. Okay, there are a lot of things you just don't know. And like, for instance, with Nye and myself, you know, we've been here for almost 6 years, but I still listen a lot to people who have been here for much longer than us, because there are certain things I still don't know. It's still a learning experience. So because I've seen this, people warn people, no, don't do this, but they go ahead and do it anyway. And it's like, but you were told, you were warned, this is the way that it kind of, the situation looks here, because a lot of these men will tell you that, well, I don't, you know, I know men do that, and I don't believe in that, and I don't do that.
Man is different.
Everybody's man is different, but at the end of the day, a lot of these men turn out to be the same.
It's because why? They didn't give it enough time.
They didn't give it time.
You know, if you give enough time, this person's vetted, well then, you know, that's fine.
Because time reveals all things.
Yep, it sure does.
Time reveals a lot.
You talk to me about that a lot.
I talked to her a lot about that. I said, give it time. Don't be real quick to jump off into something. Give it time, because you know, we all, even for us as women, we're going to show our true colors
That's
too.
true.
You know, that representative comes at
and
first.
Everybody's on their best behavior
Right.
when in a relationship, or when you first talking to somebody, when it begins, when it's in its early stages. But like you said, that even falls into, you know, falls into really using your head, is listening to people who have been here for a while. Now, I am saying this though, you know, some people are indeed coming from a negative place.
Yeah.
But you want to decipher if they're indeed coming from a negative place, or just not them telling you maybe what you don't want to hear. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, that's good.
Because the thing is, it's
That's
like,
good.
you know, if you're telling me something I don't want to hear, I'm not going to be as quick to accept it. You know what I'm saying? And then that's when you get burned. That's another one. Biblical warning comes before destruction.
Right.
You know, so
right.
my thing, you have to decipher. Yeah, some people are coming from a negative place.
some people do.
You know, so
okay,
you know, some people do. But
we're not coming from a negative place. Okay, we're really not. Because naturally, everybody, you do what it is you feel you need to do at the end of the day.
Exactly.
Okay, but we're just doing this out of concern for our sisters that are coming out here, and even for our brothers too, because some of our brothers done got burned too.
They have.
Because these women are gorgeous.
They're beautiful.
And I've said this before, bodies to die for.
For days.
You know, and they're very, some of them are very submissive, and, you know, and men like that, of course.
Of course.
Okay, men like that. But once they get them hooked, well, then that man is paying for Uncle Riri's new false teeth. Okay, you paying
false teeth.
You paying for everything.
And see, women, because us as women, I think this is just the nature of one. We think farther.
Yeah.
So even, you know, we tend to think more farther. So when these women out here, you know, they're not thinking for the long haul.
Thinking.
And they're kind of more
thinking.
calculating.
They're thinking.
So, you know, like she said, the women here are absolutely beautiful. Sometimes I'm just like, can I take your body, please?
Right. Beautiful,
please.
gorgeous
I mean,
women.
bodies
Gorgeous
that, like,
women.
you know, women would pay to have. Gorgeous skin, beautiful faces. So I get it for my brothers out there. You know, if all my brothers that are butt men.
Oh, this is the place.
This is the place.
You got a country full of brick houses here.
You really do.
Okay, you really do.
You know, so they'll get you, but you have to use some sense with that.
You gotta use. You got to use some common sense coming out here. You just can't just hit it. Okay, you really can't, because you might get burned. Okay, now. This is a big thing.
Yes.
Okay, this is a big thing. You know what? We should make this a two-parter.
I think we should, because we're really getting into some stuff. So look out for part 2, guys.
You know what? I'm going to say the big thing for part 2. I think we've kind of started the ball rolling with this. And I just want to say this. I'm really talking, and I wanted to do this video because this is coming from a biblical standpoint. It really is, because we got scriptures coming up in part 2. There is a certain way especially if you're coming. You know, I always talk to my brothers and sisters who said that the Most High has told them to come to this continent. And like I said, I don't believe this is indicative to Ghana alone. I believe this is something that you would find in other countries on this continent, and even, like you even said, other continents too. But we're speaking of here, and we can really clearly speak about Ghana. If you've been told to come here, again, there is a way that we're supposed to posture ourselves being here, and this is going to be part of part 2. Because this is kind of a little nuts, but there's a certain way we're to posture ourselves as well. If there is a man that the Most High has for you, you'll know it because he'll put it in your spirit. It's not in your head. It's in your spirit. Not even so much in your heart. It's in your spirit. You'll know. You'll know. And as you give that time, it'll just only really grow and grow and grow and grow. So you'll know you're with the right man. But there is a spiritual reason why the Most High is calling us here. We have a work to do. We have a work to do. And that is tying in with me now finding out the purpose of me coming to Ghana. It's for a work that has to do with the Most High's kingdom. So we have to keep that in mind. I know that sometimes, like we were saying earlier, you might get a little lonely or whatever. I get lonely. Okay, I get lonely.
No, you don't. I'm just playing.
I'm gonna push her chair over.
Don't push me.
She's gonna grab my But I do. I mean, I get lonely. I'm human. Okay, I get lonely. However, I don't get so lonely until I fall victim or prey to certain elements that are out there that might not mean me a lot of good. So it's important that, again, that you guys listen to this and definitely stay tuned for the second part.
It's gonna be good, guys.
It's getting into even more stuff. So next year's gonna be with me with that one too.
You guys are getting rid of me.
You're not getting rid of her. She's gonna be in the second part too. So I really thank you guys very, very much for tuning into this video and just being very supportive of the channel. I've reached 500 subscribers.
Yay!
I'm really thrilled about that because I really didn't think I would get that many subscribers, because to me it's a lot, because I thought I'd be kind of rocking with about maybe 50 to 100 for a long time. But I appreciate it. I really, really do. And again, share this video. Share this video for even women that maybe are not coming for spiritual reasons. Share it with them, because you have to be really, really, really careful. Don't forget, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe to my channel. Definitely, again, if you haven't hit that like button, if you like the stuff that we talked about, please don't hesitate to give us a thumbs up. And also, please comment. Please send your comments. Tell me what you think. You know, I always take the time to answer all of my comments, my emails, my DMs. I answer that because you guys are important to me. So until the next time, until we meet again, here's Madam V and Nye saying bye. Be blessed.